When most people think of ice hockey, they imagine tough men with missing teeth who like to fight. Many would not even consider a skinny 14-year-old girl to be a contender, but here I am. As a male-dominated sport, women are often underrepresented in hockey. USA Hockey's statistics show that just over 14% of total registered players are female. At the NCAA Division I college level, it is more of the same, with only 35 women's teams compared to 60 men's teams. And while there are 31 teams in the National Hockey League, there are now only 7 in the National Women's Hockey League, after the Canadian Women's Hockey League folded earlier this year. According to ABC News, now over 200 of the best female hockey players are taking a gap year from the Women's Professional League that has nothing professional about it. Prior to 2017, pay inequity was a real issue for U.S. women's national team members training for the Olympics, the pinnacle for women's hockey. According to the Washington Post, U.S. national team members were paid only $1,000 a month for 6 months leading up to the Olympics. Comparatively, NHLPA statistics say that the average NHL salary is $4.4 million per year. Travel and training arrangements were not equitable between the men's and women's teams either. But in the winter of 2017, a lot changed after the United States women's national team asked for higher pay, better training facilities, and a chance to train as full-time athletes. USA Hockey did not meet their request soon enough, so the women threatened to boycott the International Ice Hockey Federation, or IIHF, World Tournament in March 2017. Eventually, USA Hockey agreed to the terms that the women had laid out for better pay. Shortly after, the United States women's national team proved that all new improvements were worth it by beating Canada to win the IIHF World Tournament and bringing home the gold medal in the 2018 Olympics. Interestingly, the U.S. men have only medaled twice since the Olympics in 2002, with no golds since the 1980 Miracle on Ice. This equity movement has begun to change the narrative that hockey is just for boys. Here in Wisconsin, girls have also had to carve out their spot in the hockey world. In the Green Bay area, we are lucky because there is an established and successful all-girls program from 10U through high school. Other areas across the state and country are not as lucky, and many don't have a girls-only option. Sometimes girls have to travel over 90 minutes one way just to play girls hockey. And while girls can play on boys' teams, statistics show that most girls will quit by age 14 if they don't have a girls-only team to play on. When I was about 5, I started playing co-ed hockey. Imagine the typical 5-year-old boy. Has lots of energy, doesn't like to share, doesn't take no for an answer, and loves to roughhouse. Now imagine how they'd be on skates with a stick in their hand. This is not a good combination. The boys didn't like to pass, listen, and all they did was try to fight each other. Hockey requires teamwork, communication, and coordination. The boys were often selfish and didn't play a team game. Playing with the boys was just okay, and I didn't have a whole lot of fun. So after 3 years, I almost quit. I tried many different sports, such as dance, gymnastics, basketball, tennis, swimming, and horseback riding, but I still stuck with hockey. The next year was my first year playing on an all-girls team. I was 8, and I loved it. I had so much fun hanging out in the locker room, listening to music, and playing tag at the hotels. I could have never had this much fun playing with the boys, because girls provide such a great sense of community. As I continued playing, I grew closer and closer with my teammates, some of whom I've been playing with since I started. They don't feel as much like teammates and friends as they do family. We win together, we lose together, but through the ups and downs, we always are there for each other, and we always have fun together. Last season, I broke my collarbone, and my teammates called me after our semifinal game in state tournament to tell me that they had won, and some of them even came to the hospital to see me. Although women's hockey is not as mainstream as men's, I still have many women role models to look up to. For example, Brianna Decker, a Wisconsin native, plays for the U.S. women's national team, and has won NCAA championships, world championships, and an Olympic gold medal. She has come to Green Bay to put on clinics for young female hockey players. My sister and I, along with our teammates, have had a chance to hear her story. It was an awesome experience to watch her on TV winning the gold medal at the 2018 Olympics. Another role model for me has been the St. Albert Women's College coach, Meredith Raw. She is very supportive of the local girls program and has her players help out with practices, clinics, and more. Having a women's college team so close is really nice because after a game on the weekend, my family and I can head over to the next sheet of ice and catch part of their game. Other role models include female referees. 2 years ago, I started refereeing, and ever since have liked it. And I definitely have noticed the female referees in many sports. These role models have really motivated me to become a better hockey player because they show me what I can become in the years to come. Girls more readily identify and see female coaches as mentors and role models, which in turn can help counter stereotypes and boost girls' confidence and sense of belonging. Unfortunately, female coaches continue to be underrepresented in gender gap sports such as hockey. There have been many more opportunities in the recent years for women to get involved with hockey at an NHL level. For example, USA Hockey and the NHL have partnered to start a female hockey advisory committee, which will include many important and successful female hockey players and administrators. The goal of the committee is to accelerate the growth in female hockey across North America and ensure that all girls experience the opportunities and benefits that the sport provides. According to USA Hockey and ESPN, the growth in women's hockey is currently 6.5 times greater than the growth in men's hockey. Today, girls have more opportunities to play hockey than ever before. Winnie Broden Brown, a leader for Minnesota women's hockey, says that she did not have any college or Olympic teams to look up to as a young girl. But if you turn on the TV today, you will see women's hockey broadcasted on the NHL network winning gold medals, and women competing in the NHL skills competition right alongside the men, and former players broadcasting games during the Stanley Cup playoffs. All of these things inspire me to work hard and achieve my goals, and maybe one day be a role model for the next generation of female hockey players. So what does this mean for you? It means for everyone chasing a dream, go get it. Gender inequity is a real issue, not just in sports or hockey, but all across our society. Be the change agent that helps break down gender barriers. Thank you.